All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Attorney General Eric Holder will be stepping down as soon as a replacement Attorney General could be confirmed. The president has, of course, made his selection to succeed the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch. But there might be a problem. And joining us now is Sidney Powell, former attorney for Department of Justice and author of License to Lie, Exposing Corruption in the Department of Justice. Welcome, Sidney. Let's talk about your piece that blows the lid off this whole thing, which the Supreme Court is now aware of, and that is that Loretta Lynch and other prosecutors under the guise of DOJ were running a separate docket and allowing criminals to go free, denying victims of their rights. What's this all about?
Yes, apparently there has been a secret docket for cooperators in the Eastern District of New York and perhaps a few other districts around the country for a long time now. And it's been disclosed in a petition for certiorari asking the Supreme Court to review the case. I've attached a copy of the petition with a link in my article on the New York Observer at observer.com.
Well, when you say secret docket, for the uninitiated or the layman like me, what does that mean? In other words, a criminal is charged in a case as a victim. What would happen with one of these type cases?
The criminals are charged, they plead guilty, but their guilty plea is not disclosed to the public, and they're even sentenced, which is worse, on a secret docket, and people are not given notice of the sentencing for purposes of restitution. There's a federal law that requires restitution by criminals to their fraud victims in particular and other victims as well. And that hasn't been happening when the cases have been handled on this secret docket.
So what could the motivation be? Now you're saying that not only did this go on possibly in the Eastern District of New York, but also possibly in other jurisdictions around the country. What's the motivation? In other words, why would Loretta Lynch want this to happen? I mean, how does it benefit her, or does it at all?
Yeah, it would give the prosecutors more leverage over the people who are cooperating. That's the only reason I can fathom for it. And I guess if they're putting cooperators back into criminal organizations as confidential informants, they need to keep their guilty plea secret for a while, certainly while the investigation is going on. I mean, there are some legitimate reasons to keep certain aspects of a law enforcement operation secret. But to then have the sentencing secret and deprive victims of restitution, not to mention the possibility, and there is evidence that these cooperators were allowed to commit additional crimes while they were being handled this way, that is an outrage.
So the Supreme Court conferred on the petition back on last Friday, as far as I know, the case Palmer versus Palmer v. John Doe. And they're going to take their next weighing in on this will be to decide whether or not to take this case. Is that it?
Yes, they will decide through their conference, and it can take any amount of time they want to decide whether to take the petition and take the case up on the merits or not.
All right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
If it's taken on the merits, then there will be full briefing and oral argument of the issues.
All right. So they have to be aware that this involves Loretta Lynch, whose nomination could come before the Senate very soon. Are they more apt to? Because I hear more and more that they when it comes to gay marriage and other issues, they see how the political spectrum is going. They're aware of how the polls go. So are they more apt to say, wait, we should rectify this, get this out of the way one way or another as soon as possible? Might it expedite it, do you believe?
They might, but it should not be viewed as a political issue. This docket has been run across both administrations, apparently, for a long time. And yes, Loretta Lynch definitely has responsibility for what's been going on in her district. And if it's been happening like I think it has, she should not be Attorney General. But at the same time, we need to take politics out of the application of the law completely. That's a dream of mine, I guess. But that would certainly be the goal, to have the law enforced fairly and equitably across all boundaries without regard to politics.
Yeah, no, very interesting. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Thanks for the bevy of information on this. This is a huge scandal that could erupt out of this whole thing. Thank you very much. Always good to talk to you.
You're welcome. I've also got a new article on the Observer about Andrew Weissman just being named head of the fraud section of DOJ. That's hugely important and a big problem.
Okay, we'll check that out, and we'll have you back to talk about that as well. Always great to talk to you, as I said. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, much more of the Steve Malzberg Show straight ahead. Don't miss it on Newsmax Television.